You see that crap? All that horror crap? Things coming out of crates and eating people? Dead people coming back to life?
These terms refer to a whole group of pictures full of blood and guts. Sometimes real, sometimes fake.
But when you see it quietly, in the confines as I did earlier tonight, just myself watching it, and some of the gruesome, grotesque and gratuitous violence, simply for the sake of showing violence, when you see that, not only did it make me feel sick, but also it quite clearly is working away at people's sensitivities.
You see that crap? All that horror crap? Things coming out of crates and eating people? Dead people coming back to life?
These terms refer to a whole group of pictures full of blood and guts. Sometimes real, sometimes fake.
But when you see it quietly, in the confines as I did earlier tonight, just myself watching it, and some of the gruesome, grotesque and gratuitous violence, simply for the sake of showing violence, when you see that, not only did it make me feel sick, but also it quite clearly is working away at people's sensitivities.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dead of Night, a horror movie podcast featuring myself, Jake.
And me, Nicole.
Wow. Look at that. We don't really have a catchphrase or anything
No,
yet.
we will eventually. It'll be
Like,
something
yeah.
stupid, probably.
Yeah, most people come up with really lame ones, and I don't want to do like a lame one.
No. It has to be like an inside joke.
Yeah, I love Dead to Me and their channel, but their fucking podcast thing is so lame. You know what it is? We're boyfriend and girlfriend, and we like to get scared together.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
cringe every time I
You're
hear it.
like,
Like I said, I love them and their channel, but
Yeah, I
like
love you guys,
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Christ,
Yeah, no.
it's really cringy. That opening is nothing else is. But anyway, yeah, this is a horror podcast featuring us. We're a married couple that just loves horror movies.
Yeah, I like really bad horror movies.
Yeah, and
so
I like,
you guys, we'll see in a little bit that, yeah.
Yeah, because we'll be doing our top 10s, we'll be doing news, we'll be doing all that good stuff.
Some Netflix recommendations.
Netflix rec, since Nicole watches like every horror movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
So you can stop,
Wasting your time. I don't waste
stop
my
wasting your time.
for you.
Because she'll just sit at home and watch them. So to begin,
Drink some beer first.
drink some beer.
Yes.
And then let's talk about, this is, people getting to know us. Let's talk about our history with horror movies. If you want to go first, I can go first. Doesn't matter.
You can go first, whatever. I don't have a really big history when I was
go ahead.
little.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom, like, the first thing she introduced us to, it wasn't supposed to be as scary as it was Ghost Ship, and I don't know if you guys remember that, but man, that scared me as a kid, and it's so bad. But yeah, and ever since then, she accidentally put that on. She never really let us watch anything else, but then, she introduced me to Lost Boys, probably, I was probably like 16 or 17 at the point, and then, I don't know, it just... Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of like watched them with like friends if we went out like to a movie.
Yeah, you always talk about watching Freddy vs. Jason at a sleepover.
Yeah, that was the thing. I think we were in elementary school still, and her dad like put on wore his mask and scared us all outside. Yeah, it was not fun. No one slept that night.
I thought it was interesting that it's just that teenage girls like being like really frightened watching that, and it's like that movie is like the least
not
scary fucking
no.
movie, which I love that movie, but it's so not scary at all.
No. Yeah, there all kinds of worse things that it could have been, but
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was a weird kid no one liked. I think that's all of us though.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your
Okay. Well, I think the first horror movie I saw was probably. And it was funny because Joe Bob Briggs was just back on TV. It was Monster Vision, and they played Nightmare on Elm Street on there. That's kind of the first one. And it all started there. But yeah, it was Monster. They like played it on Monster Vision. It was probably a rerun because I'm younger than the Monster Vision show. But that's why I love Freddy. That's why I love Joe Bob Briggs. And then, from there I started watching just about everything. Friday the 13th. I used to go to my local video store, Showtime Video, Valley Springs, California. Shout out to that.
I'm sure they're very excited.
And this was at a time where we had a DVD player and DVDs existed and everything, and they had a lot of DVDs at the store, but my TV still had, it was like a combination TV where it had a VHS and a DVD player, like built into the TV. It was built in. It wasn't like a separate unit or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would rent a shit ton of horror tapes like every couple days or whatever, because they were way cheaper. And so I just rent like 3 or 4 of them like every couple days. I just be like,
just watch whatever.
Yeah, I just watch whatever. I just be like, like what was the one? There's some really bad slasher from around that time, Bloody Murder. I think that's what it was called. And I just was like,
horrible title.
It has a guy with like a real legit goalie mask on the front of it, like a legit goalie hockey mask. He has like a hook or whatever. And being like, or is it, he already had a chainsaw? Although there were 2 of them, and I think he had a hook on one and a chainsaw on the other one. Yeah, just be like, whatever, just rent this, and that's how I saw like a lot of things that were like really bad, but I still enjoy them, like Mutilator and stuff like that.
I mean, by our list later, you'll see some of mine.
Yeah, I don't really have any of those like trashy ones on mine.
See, but that's all that I like. Well, it's not trashy that I like. It's just they're bad. Like, I mean.
Yeah, you talked about being like, oh, I was a weird kid, and yeah, totally. I mean, that was the case with me, where I was like, I think I wore a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt to the first day of 7th grade. I had like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt that had him at the end when he's like dancing with a chainsaw and stuff.
Yeah, see, I didn't have any of that stuff. I got lucky.
Yeah, my dad is very like horror movie centric, so
he
was very whatever about it.
Yeah, because I know, like, at your parents' house, like, me and his dad used to watch horror movies together. Like, he had an accident or whatever, and that's what we sat and just did.
Yeah.
And now, like, all the time he comes over, I'm like, oh, dude, do you see this on Netflix? He was like, yeah, that sucked.
He's always like, have you guys watched this? I'm like, no, not yet. And then most of his picks are bad, but,
so are mine, so I can't really say anything,
yeah,
so.
Definitely. And then, I feel like I fell out of horror movies for a while because it started to get really, like bad or just really like mediocre is more
like right now where they just redo everything.
Well, actually now I would argue is like fucking fantastic because you have like
with that Slenderman.
Well, sure, but you also have The Witch and you have Get Out.
True.
And you have
when they're produced and directed by.
When you have It Follows and you have
we're gonna argue. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't like It Follows.
Is great.
I don't know.
But you have like It Follows and you have House of the Devil and you have You're Next and things like that. Like that, like those are all within the last try to think 7 years or so. So it's like really, sure they're still making Slender Man or Wish Upon or whatever. But it's better than the time that I sort of started to fall out when it was remakes and all that stuff like that. When they were remaking Poltergeist, they're remaking whatever. They're.
Well, I feel too like some of.
I feel like the Friday the 13th remake was almost kind of the last straw for me for a while. Even though actually I like that movie a lot now, I feel like that was kind of the last one that I was kind of like.
Well, they try and do. I noticed like if they think they have like a bigger budget, that the movie's gonna do better.
Yeah.
Like Wish Upon didn't look bad, but
it was
horrible. Just awful. And I was like, oh my god! And then that bitch is in Slenderman too, and I'm like, girl,
that was so
are you
funny,
trying to be in all the worst movies possible?
Slenderman, I probably won't watch it because it's already been done a million times better for free on YouTube.
Yeah, with Marble Hornets.
Yeah,
so
Marble Hornets is about a million times better. But they. We were watching a review of it or whatever, and I was like, "You like, is that the same chick from Wish Upon?" I was like, "No," and then I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh my god, it totally is the exact same chick."
Yeah.
I guess she's just a bad horror movie. Was she in Bye Bye Man too, or whatever?
Probably. I wouldn't put it past her. Poor girl.
Yeah,
maybe she's just working
like
her
I said,
way up.
for every Bye Bye Man, there's a fucking witch, or for every
there's a really good one.
For every Wish Upon, there's a Get Out. For every Slender Man, there's a Quiet Place or something.
I don't like Quiet Place. I know you still haven't seen it, but I don't think you. It was
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think you really like it, but.
I'll probably like it. Probably like it more than I liked Hereditary.
Probably, yeah. Okay, you know what? We could probably make Hereditary a whole nother episode because he'll rant forever.
Yeah. We got an argument with not an argument. We got a discussion about it with our friend Dan, and I was very.
He got a little heated.
I still was very just down about it, being like, did not like this movie, man. It's not good.
Yeah.
Or you know what's good? The last 15 minutes. That's for.
Yeah, that's. I think that's. Yeah.
That's for.
That's definitely more how you feel than.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad, but I'd say that it's not as good as people were making it out to be. But yeah, so we're gonna do some different stuff in the show. We'll come up with segments. We'll come up with things to do and things to.
And this is the first episode.
So we're kind of just experimental here. I want to do news and stuff like that because I always find horror news interesting. I don't understand. I know people and I have friends that are like, oh, like I don't want to hear about this, or like I don't want to, read news about a movie or watch trailers or whatever.
Yeah.
And for me, I love buying in on the hype of the movie. Like I really like that.
Sometimes I don't want the movie spoiled for me though. Is what it is.
I like getting like excited for the movie, like seeing like trailers and stuff, or like reading about it and being like, "Oh my god, I can't wait! It's gonna be so awesome."
Sometimes I like to know like if it's, or if it's gonna be like supernatural, or if it's gonna be like a creature feature. So sometimes I like to go in it blind and then be like, okay, what kind?
I like riding the hype train.
Yeah,
it's a fun ride. like when
it's a fun ride.
like when the Halloween trailer came out earlier this year. I like like hearing that it dropped and being like, oh my god, I want to see it. I can't wait for it to come out. And when it comes out, being like, oh my god, I need to watch it right now. Like, I like being a part of that thing. And with horror, sometimes I feel like it's harder to be on that.
Well, I feel sometimes...
Or to be in tune with that, because like sometimes the things that are the most exciting you have never even heard of before.
True. Well, I know.
Because I'm not doing too many sequels anymore.
That's going to be one of the big ones that horror fans, or like real horror fans, are going to have to fight for those seats on that opening day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Between like normal people that are like, oh, horror frames are my favorite. And I'm like, shut up, you don't know shit. Like, get out of here.
It's going to be. I'm really excited for that one. Yeah, I'm sure we'll do a whole episode about Halloween.
Well, because we were watching someone's review. So sometimes we watch people's videos where I don't have to watch the full movie. Like, I could just watch their video and watch the movie. And I had really never seen the first Halloween, like, all the way through. I'd seen bits and pieces, and I was like, this is really good, actually. And I think great. Before I thought it was, like, really boring.
I think you fell asleep the first time I watched it.
Yeah, probably.
And I probably chastised you because it's a phenomenal movie.
It's one of those that, like, ugh.
It's not my top 10.
No. No, but...
We said top 10 favorite. If I was doing the best, like, best quality-wise...
Yeah, so this isn't... Like, our top 10 isn't going to be...
Yeah, it'll end up being... when we do it, it's our favorite, not necessarily the best. Because the best...
The better movie.
Like I said, I'd probably put Halloween as the best horror movie of all time.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason.
I'd still probably say second best, because I think my favorite is still the best.
Yeah.
But I'd still, put it up there as being like, oh, it's one of the best. Except for not The Shining, because I don't like The Shining.
Got a phone.
Jesus Christ, super fan Rob. Same guy sent me like a million messages. Jesus Christ.
He's going
Hold on,
for
I need to deal with this. Look at this.
Oh my god.
It's an eBay thing.
Oh, get it. Make that money.
I want everybody to be on here. Yeah. Oh my god, it's the same message.
And he just sent it a million times.
Yeah, it's gotta be like a phone glitch.
Wow.
In case 11 times. I'm glad I could update you all on this. Got it. Will do. He's pretty much being like, can you send me tracking when you ship it? Sure.
Yeah.
You'll need to mess with me that 15 times. But anyway, okay. So let's go over some news here. We don't have a news jingle.
No.
Whatever.
Sure, that works. All right.
Okay, so first bit of news here that I read today is that Legendary Pictures, who is doing, they do Godzilla and all that stuff like that. They did Jigsaw, I believe. They're developing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre television series.
Oh.
And multiple movies.
Okay. Is it supposed to be like a reboot?
Well, let me.
I guess we'll find.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, from what I can tell, and I've been reading, details are pretty scarce about like what it's actually going to be.
Yeah.
Because we're at a point where that franchise is kind of going away because the last movies both did so horribly.
But maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, well, because excuse me, Texas Chainsaw 3D did poorly, even though I like that movie.
Was that the one that took me, like 3 times?
No, that was the remake. Texas Chainsaw 3D is the one where it's the sequel to the first one. Mm-hmm. They did what the new Halloween's doing, where they just erased the other ones and then they made it a sequel to the original.
Yeah.
And it was in 3D and everything. That one actually
I think it didn't help that Leatherface.
Well, that's the one that did so poorly.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Admittedly, the movie's not very good.
It was alright, but...
Yeah, but they... So yeah, apparently them... I forget who they're teaming with here. Let me take... Yeah, Legendary Pictures are attempting to, revive the franchise, which is good news because, like I said,
and they're pretty good. I mean, if you're a big horror fan, you've seen that Legendary thing pop up before.
Yeah, and they it's refreshing to hear that they're even considering it because you would think that they wouldn't want to touch it after how horrible the last two did. And we're in a weird market right now where they don't want to. They've held off on making a Friday the 13th movie because they were unsure that they could make that kind of movie anymore. So to hear people being like, "Oh, we could still make another Texas Chainsaw, we could still make another Halloween," is kind of. Yeah, I honestly think Halloween will be the deciding factor if this, or like a new Friday the 13th gets made, essentially.
True. Yeah, because that's another thing you don't want to spend money on.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at honestly, if you look at Legendary's track record, where they got one of my movies on my top 10, which I won't reveal now. They did Krampus. I said they're doing all that. They're doing all that Godzilla stuff where they did.
I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking.
And they did Kong, and they did Kong Skull Island.
See, I didn't see that one. My mom said it was good though.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that, seeing where it goes.
Yeah, what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, they have a strong, big budgets, hopefully they can do something. But, Halloween's being done by Blumhouse, so they also have a good track record. Yeah. So they have a much better track record, but, we'll see what happens with that. All right, Nicole. Like a little tidbit of news, little tiddly bit.
Yeah, our thing stopped recording.
Yeah, so we're going to pretend like this is the first time we have this conversation. Is that the Guillermo del Toro produced Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, look at that movie, is starting filming this week. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And this is all three in one book. I don't know where you can get this. Maybe Amazon.
I found it in a used bookstore.
Yeah, for super cheap. So maybe online. I don't know.
Yeah. So it was. It's being film-maked because it says filmmaker. God, what was his name again?
Hopefully
his name was super Norwegian. Anyways.
It's fine.
He film-maked, because it didn't say, that's what it said. It didn't say director, it said, or writer, it said filmmaker behind Troll Hunters and The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Our second ones are not cool.
Which are both very good movies. Yeah, these aren't really cool anymore. Those both
Jane
very
Doe's
good.
Really good.
Yeah, Autopsy of Jane Doe, I'm sure everybody's seen it. Really good. So he's making it, and it's, there's some plot details coming out that I said, about some teens. It says it's interesting because like I was saying before our thing shut off. It seems like this would have to be an anthology movie.
Yeah, I would think so. With how many? I mean, that's what it is. That's what kind of.
Yeah, there are so many stories that it seems like the best way to make it would be to give you a wraparound and give you the 4 or 5 best ones out of it. Although the stories are short in here.
True. So I would think they do at least 7 or 10.
Yeah. Some of them are only a page too long. And I think the longest one's probably about 6 pages. It's not
because it's not like they can do something like Goosebumps did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like they all come in the world there.
All in one go, but
yeah,
that would be terrifying. I would not.
Really a bummer that the Goosebumps movie was they said it was going to be Horrorland for the second one.
Yeah, and then it's not. So because we actually liked the first one. So
yeah, the first one was fun.
I liked it. Well, and Jack Black's not R.L. Stein either.
Yeah, he's not in it at all. He's Slappy.
Is that?
He's Slappy.
Yeah, but what is that?
Yeah, and it's the kid from Stranger Things who was in it. He was in the last one. He's the main character in it now. But yeah, Jack Black's in it, but he's not. R.L. Stein's really weird.
Yeah. Anyway, back to
this. what I was saying when we were so rudely cut off by the program here was,
yeah, thanks, Lane.
Can we just not make a commercial anthology movie anymore that goes in the theaters?
Yeah, I don't know.
You said Trick or Treat, and I think that's the last one I can think of
that most people have
that was in a movie theater.
Yeah.
I can't really think of a horror anthology movie since then that was
in theaters.
In the theater. Like I said, it's all been VHS and ABC's Death and Holidays and
because there was a lot of that, like when Creepshow came out. You know,
Tales of Halloween, all that.
Yeah,
that's all direct to
video. Yeah, and Netflix. Yeah, so
and Netflix. Direct to the flicks.
Or we should say streaming, because I mean we have Shudder too. We did have Hulu, but
yeah.
You know,
Shudder's great too. If they would like to sponsor us,
that would be cool.
Just throwing it out there.
Ooh, spooky door. Yeah, we have screen doors, so that happens. And the dog's like, what?
Yeah.
So. But yeah, there's quite a few that I hope that they do, because you said that they confirmed the gross girl, not this girl.
In one of the plots that they said may or may not be accurate, they said that there would possibly be cameos from Harold the Living Scarecrow.
I like that one.
And which, like I said, they read that to me when I was in like 3rd grade, which is a really fucked up story.
Yeah, I didn't read them till like 5th grade.
Yeah,
probably.
where they like skin a human and then lay his skin out.
Because I know, like with our school, they didn't let everyone rent these.
Yeah.
I think you had to be at least in 5th or 6th grade.
I said my first copy of this was stolen from a classroom in 5th grade.
Damn, this chick is ugly.
Yeah. The red spot is the one that you're thinking of.
I don't know where it is though.
Yeah, she has the spider.
Yeah, coming out of her face.
Yeah.
Because
they said that she might be in it.
Maybe we'll throw
it's kind of one of the most iconic images in that. Yeah.
Of I have a horror jacket that I have that has all of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So if that's a patch thing that you guys would be interested in, what up, baby? We'll get them made or something.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, because I do all DIY stuff. I'm going to plug my own Instagram.
Plug it, baby.
So, Ron Dolls Clothing on Instagram.
I mean, we're going to plug it at the end, but plug it now.
I'm going to plug it anyway, whatever.
The one that really fucked me up that's in there was the High Beams one.
I don't remember which one that is.
That's the one where the chick, she's coming home from like a college basketball game or whatever. She gets in her car.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I always check the back seat of my car because of that. And then, she's driving and then the truck driver keeps turning on his high beams over again. She's like freaking out, and then he like follows her all the way home to her driveway, and then she calls the police, and the police and then show up at the same time, and then they grab him, and he goes, "It's not me, it's him you want." And there was a guy in her back seat, and then when he was getting up to like hurt her, he was like turning on the high beams every time. Fucked me up.
Ew! I forgot how gross the third one is. Like, this is disgusting. Like, that is.
But I think what makes these stories so good is they're not written. It says Alvin Schwartz on the front. They're not like written by him.
Oh man.
This is pretty much a compilation of like urban legends.
Yeah.
And folk stories of like things that people would like. Oh, that drawing's disgusting. God.
So is this one.
Yeah, but that's at least a little more humorous. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Gross.
So it's like things that people would pass around like orally in the oral tradition of storytelling, and that's what I think gives them a little more weight and gives them a little more like greater like not plausibility, because most of them aren't plausible, but a little bit more of like
that boy's on my jacket.
Grounded storytelling.
Yeah. Because I'm sure you guys know some of these stories are much.
In fact, I think this whole section right here in the back is in the back of all of them, which if you're a literary nerd like me, you should check out. Is he does notes and sources about where the stories originally came from, and they're like
cool. I should probably go back and like fully read this.
Yeah, and they're like regions of origin and all that stuff like that, where they originated from, and what potentially could have caused the story to start spreading out. Stuff like that.
Because another one that I really liked was The Bride. That always scared me as a kid. That I'm like, I'm gonna open this box and yeah. It's another good one. But
is the one where she gets stuck in that thing?
Yeah, where they're like playing hide and seek or whatever.
That's based off of like a different story too.
Probably in the
in fact, I didn't think that's
white satin evening gown. Every time there's a hanger like up on the wall or something,
at night. Little meme here is that there was a Slipknot song going back to that meme called Purity, that was like that story, or it was like trying to tell that story of like a girl being stuck in a crate or whatever, like accidentally, and they thought it was like a real like folklore type of urban legend type thing, but it turned out that it was like a story that somebody had actually written. Weird. And so it was copyrighted, so they had to take it off the CD.
Huh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Ooh, he ugly too.
Yeah.
I really want to see that.
But yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait for that. That's supposed to come out next year.
Next year? Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
It says written by Guillermo del Toro, that guy that I mentioned, and the people who wrote Saw 4 through 6, 4 through 7, sorry, and The Collector,
Yeah.
which I like.
Which is good too.
Saw 4 through 6, not so
I
much.
really like The Collector.
Yeah, Saw 4 through 6, not so much.
I do like 4 though. Leave me alone. I don't care. Whatever.
That's all the news I really had planned for today. I was going to make it a shorter thing since we have a top 10 to go through still, which will take some time because we will probably discuss every single one of the movies at length. But first, Foist.
Wow.
Your Netflix recommendations. Nicole watches. Okay, let's go through this.
Yeah, I watch.
We need like a jingle.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
If you want to get your kicks, listen to Nicole's Netflix picks, something like that. I don't know. Nicole's a lot of time to watch Netflix horror movies.
Two that I just looked on right now to see what that are actually really good that I think most people will like is The Ritual. That is by Netflix. If you have not seen that, highly recommend. Just make sure you get the one that says Netflix in the corner, because there's another one on there that is not as good.
It's just called Ritual, right?
Yeah.
Not the. There's no the.
Yeah.
Or there's the and the one you want to see.
Yeah. And then the second one is The Void, which he has seen with me, and
I think a lot
my
of people
God.
have seen that.
But
It's really good.
That's a good
Practical
one.
effects. Lovecraft.
Super gross. Enough that we were like,
disgusting.
what the hell is that?
Knives Chow from
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim.
Gross.
She's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, that's weird, but
She plays like a nurse or something.
should I give a third one? Because I have a couple on here, but like,
Just give me some ones I haven't seen, lady.
well, you didn't see Patchwork.
Let's use this as a segment to pitch me a movie on Netflix.
Like I said, Patchwork, yeah. So
What's that about?
it's the
What's
there's
that about?
like three.
Without giving it away.
You could say it's about like 3 different chicks. So basically, when you first watch it, you think the plot twist is like.
Don't give me the plot twist.
I'm not. But
give me
I'm
the high
saying.
level. What's a high level?
I don't.
As in, like with the Ritual, like a high level of the Ritual, right? Is you can say, it's about 4 dudes who lose a friend, and then they go on a vacation in Sweden.
I can't. Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of deal, you know what I mean? And they go on a vacation in Sweden.
It's kind of like
and
a
the fall
Reanimator
that's-
type of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he makes a girl basically,
Oh, yeah.
and then
yeah. Sounds like Pieces,
kind of.
but without the dick tearing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really weird, and the twist is not the twist that you think until you watch like the last 10 minutes. Even I was like, what the fuck? I was a little shook, and I'm like, damn. Okay. Yeah, that one's good. So, also as far as TV shows.
Stop clicking that pen.
Sorry, that's probably really loud. Sorry. Yeah, if you like TV shows and you like, this isn't really horror, I would say, but it's more like mystery.
It's a mystery psychological thriller.
Yeah, and it's called Dark. So when you go to watch it, though, I'm sorry if you don't like subtitles.
Yeah.
But it's in German, is it?
Yeah. That's what
It might be in German, yeah. So
I think the
definitely
little bit I saw was in German.
So it's dubbed over in English by Netflix, and it's really bad. It took me a good 30 minutes to realize. I'm like, what's wrong with this? Like, and then just put the subtitles back on with the German talking,
Language,
and it makes much more sense.
You're about subs, not dubs, as they would say in the anime world. You know what? I was gonna say kind of like with Ghibli movies, but I like the dubs better. With like Spirited Away and stuff.
Those are like done good.
Yeah,
It's
they're
weird
done
because I noticed they're doing like an autopsy at one point, and what the mortician chick or whatever is saying like doesn't make sense, and I'm like, that's what?
Yeah.
And I kind of had to be like, wait a second, why does this sound weird? And then I looked it up, and then people were like, oh yeah, just change it back to how it's supposed to be because Netflix dubbed it. So it's just really bad voice acting is what it is. So I should have turned off the air too because now it's cold.
Okay, so that's all that stuff we'll have for today. We'll probably just use this last 30 minutes or so to go through our top 10 films. Yeah. Motion pictures, horror motion pictures.
And that's our favorite and not
favorite ones, yeah. I'm gonna throw
we think are the best.
Out some honorable mentions.
Though.
This is gonna be the first one here. We have visual representations. How nice is that?
Yes, because we have some actual
this
images.
One here, the Monster Squad. Except that's got to be an honorable mention because I do not really consider that a horror movie, even though it's got like monsters and stuff in it.
It's more of like a creature feature.
It's like a kids adventure movie.
Yeah.
With monsters in it. But you know, this it's funny because I feel like I've been championing that movie for so long because I've met so many people that have been like, "Oh, I've never seen that before." I'm like, "You've seen the fucking Monster Squad?
Where are you at?
It's better than the Goonies," and it is. This movie, I think, is like the reason that I am like into like monsters and horror movies and all that stuff. Because I remember seeing it super young.
Yeah, see, I didn't get to watch. I mean, I watched like Halloween type movies when I was a kid, but not. I didn't get to watch like horror movies.
Yeah, and then with this, like I said, it's not really even a horror movie. It's just kind of a kids adventure movies, which is why my parents were probably like whatever, And the Universal monsters aren't exactly off limits to kids. And so and these versions are just a little bit more intense than the normal ones. But yeah, I think this movie is in a large part responsible for the person I am now. It's got crafted me into the human being I am today. You call them for a monster, it's a good time. It's a bad pun. But yeah, so honorable mention, the squad, the Monster Squad.
Ma'am. Yeah, I forgot that. This chair, this is Baby.
This is the cat's chair.
This is Baby Pinks. Hi, Mama. And she likes being on that chair. Anything that is pleather, she has to rip up.
Okay, so. But the other honorable mention I don't have a visual representation of, and that's my favorite zombie movie. What is this?
What? I'm like, are you asking me a question?
Yeah. Do you know what my favorite zombie movie is?
Eternally Undead?
No.
I don't know.
And I don't have visual representation, so I'll be like, right here.
Wow,
boom, here
right
it is.
Here
it is.
Don't go on the shelf.
I'm trying to there it is right there. Boom.
Boom.
Shaun of the Dead. Wow.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my favorite zombie movie of all time. It's just, but like I said, it's also riding that line of horror comedy that a lot of people will chastise you for being like, oh, it's a horror movie, oh, it's a comedy movie.
Yeah, and like people sit and argue. Yeah, it's both.
Yeah, I'd rather just not have to deal with that because it'd be pretty high up my list otherwise. Yeah, it's just very important to me enjoying horror movies and stuff like that. And those British boys, you need to get down.
Yeah, she's gonna do that. Sorry, honey.
Go down, honey.
Oh, spicy.
But yeah, so honorable mentions. Would you like to go with your number 10 first? Or would you like me to go with my number 10 first?
You go first, because I went first last time.
Okay. My number 10. I kind of almost loaded the top end with like sequels almost. Because I was like, I don't know. I just
put it. I kind of based mine on what I've watched the most. So
it's just when I was looking at the rankings, I kind of was like, oh yeah, I'm like, this one's kind of not as good, and it just happened to be that there were like more sequels towards the top than to the bottom. Yeah. So my number 10 is Booyah! Suck it, Teflon Dave. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I fucking love this movie so goddamn much.
Yeah. You just got a figure from.
Yeah, she's got a nice little Leatherface figure boy there. Because it's also my favorite Leatherface design. It's where I first fell in love with Mr. Bill Moseley. For Chop Top, Otis, and Devil's Rejects, which is another great film. Yeah, a lot of people don't like this because this took it also into the horror comedy direction. I just happen to like horror comedy a lot. Some people don't. Like I said,
I don't mind it.
Suck at Teflon. So you trash this movie on Ghost Party podcast. But I fucking love this movie. It's great. There are so many great moments. Lick my plate, dog dick. You know, the part where he's like putting the guy's face on her face and all that stuff like that. It's just, you know, I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about it. It was Tell 'em Steve Davis, weird. Because they don't, that's not a horror movie podcast. But they were talking about how just the family dynamic is like fucking disturbing in this one.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. Like the part where he's like, where like Bubba doesn't want to kill her or whatever. Bubba, who's what they call
Leatherface in this one for some reason,
even though that's not his name. They Chop Top is like, Bubba's got a girlfriend. He keeps going, Bubba's got a girlfriend. Bubba's got. He's like dancing around the room. It's like really disturbing in like a weird way with how like not serious they're taking like killing these people.
Yeah.
like it's disturbing when they're not. They're making such light of a situation that is very disturbing and serious. But yeah, that's it. Dennis Hopper chainsaw battle. Great sequel that ties in almost directly with the first one. A great opening scene where there's like these dudes with the dumbest glasses on shooting fucking road signs. Yeah, it's great. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Not 2, Part 2. And great Breakfast Club cover. And this fucking guy sold me a cut box and he didn't fucking tell me it was a cut box.
Oh, rude.
I know.
Yeah. So, my 10, this isn't probably really my 10. Some of them I was like, okay, I need a 10.
Yeah.
And then I said this one and I'm like, oh, that's a good one though. But I have The Void. But that was one of the movies recently within the last year that we saw that I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like,
it's really good.
You know,
I have a shirt. I mean, that's how much I liked it.
And
yeah.
I like that weird, like, occult kind of gross. It's really gross,
when
too.
we were talking about at the beginning good movies recently, we didn't say that one. And that's definitely one that's been really good. Devil's Candy, too.
Yeah, that's a good one, too, yeah.
Yeah, Void's good. It's just so,
and, I mean, if you download movies like we do, We Are Still Here is another really good one. It was on Netflix, like, last month.
It's on Shudder.
Shudder, yeah. So, Shudder's cheap, too. It's like $5 a month.
$5 a month, yeah. But yeah, Void, it really reminds me of...
Sorry.
A lot of movies. They said great practical effects. I think the movie was Kickstarted or Indiegogo. It was one of those two.
Yeah,
it was
something
crowdfunded.
like that, yeah.
And
it's just super dope.
The ending is fucking nuts.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, it's definitely one of the best horror movies in the last 5 years or whatever. I put it up there. That should be a list we do, like 10 for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
Or of the 10s so far. You know.
Yeah, of like
more recent kind of. Yeah, well, because there's been a lot of good stuff that I think gets overlooked a lot.
Ooh, spicy, my bad.
Yeah, Void's good.
Good one.
Good
I
film.
was like, okay. I had to.
Yeah.
Quite a few of these I had to race and be like,
We already talked about it, so it kind of took the steam out of that one.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. Okay, is it mine?
Mm-hmm. Unless you want me to go first.
Do I have my number 9 here? I do not have a number. So my number 9, which I will put right here. I'm giving myself a lot of extra work. I'm going to put that in there.
Oh.
My number 9 is Phantasm.
Yeah.
Tall man.
Tall boy.
Spheres. Boys. Yeah. I would think you're hard pressed to find a more inventive, creative, and just kind of batshit insane horror movie, because it's really weird to be like.
Yeah, because I remember after watching, I'm like, did I just watch this thing about an alien mortician guy?
There's an alien mortician, and he's fucking.
He's like
crushing
super old,
people
like ancient.
He's crushing people down in the drawers and like doing all this shit.
Going through portals.
And there's a tranny trick at the beginning and all that stuff. It's really strange.
I think my favorite part of that though is him just lifting the coffin. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because that's the first moment of like something's not right.
Okay, you're like something isn't right.
There's stuff before that, but that's kind of the first moment of the characters
like
realizing
a normal human
of the characters realizing there's something not right. Yeah, Don Coscarelli. You know what? I thought he was older than he was. Don Coscarelli, because he's done all of them.
Yeah.
He's not that old. Same with what's the guy that does Child's Play? I thought he was a lot older than he was, but he's actually a lot younger than he is. It's really strange, or than I thought he was, rather. He's a lot younger than he is. That makes no sense. He's a lot younger than he actually is.
What?
Yeah, I love the series, really. Like, part 2 is probably one of my favorite sequels ever. Like, it's a great sequel.
Yeah.
It was great to show how to expand upon that concept and make it bigger. It had a bigger budget and all stuff like that,
And the balls were really cool, and the design of it, cool. And
such cool balls.
Balls.
Yeah, and a great soundtrack too.
Yeah.
Eerie soundtrack.
And the effects are pretty easy, because we watched a video where kind of they went over everything, and I'm like, But, the coffin thing was made out of styrofoam. I'm like,
it was balsa wood, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, super
lightweight,
yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of looks bad in that movie is the fly creature. That does not look good.
Yeah, but they said someone on set designed it.
Yes, Don Coscarelli's mom. She also designed the finger in the box too.
The finger looks
fine, but the fly looks.
Yeah, it just looks. I think it's like eyes are wrong, and I'm like, wait.
Yeah, it looks really strange. But yeah, fucking great film. Angus Scrimm, R.I.P. I think he died in the last year or two. Tall man.
I thought so. Yeah, because it was. Was it before Christmas?
It was like shortly after. And actually, it was shortly before Ravager came out, the newest one. Although fucking Reggie's still alive and kicking ass, so fucking Ice Cream Man. When I watched this movies as a kid, you were like, Ice Cream Man is the most badass person in this movie, I'd be like, you're full of shit. But after seeing all of them, I'm like, fuck, I guess I love an Ice Cream Man now. Yeah, great movie, great series. But yeah, the first one is just like fucking unreally inventive of you'd be hard pressed to find something more out there, and still it has rules that are like acceptable.
True.
Which is a weird.
Because a lot of movies
That sounds
now
weird,
don't
but it's like
have rules.
it's like a storytelling thing where that universe has rules.
Yeah.
While being also being creative. So. Yeah. It's my number 9.
My 9?
Mm-hmm.
What is my 9? Oh. So this is one of the ones that it's in my top entirely, but there are other ones I'd rather see. This might surprise you that it's really low.
Okay.
Silence of the Lambs. That it's
really?
that low, yeah.
You have a copy of it back there.
Why?
Just show. I put mine in order because, I was prepped for this situation. So I could just grab and go. But yes, Silence of the Lambs.
Is there somewhere I can put this? It's not. Where is it? Grab it. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, it's pretty classic if you have not seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, if you're like a VHS collector, this is one that's really easy to find.
Yeah.
Because it sold like about 1 million copies. About 2 million copies.
I don't know. Is this in the shot if I just kind of...
Not... Yeah, you're good. Can't really see them.
Whatever.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I'm one of the people too. I don't know if there's anyone else that's like this. Like, I love Hannibal, don't get me wrong. But... I mean, it's about Buffalo Bill, really.
He's kind of the more interesting.
Yeah, and I've gotten a shirt now that
he's the real bad guy in the movie, really.
Yeah.
Because Hannibal is, he's a killer and a fucking cannibal.
Yeah, straight out the gate.
He's not the villain of the movie.
He's not the villain of the movie.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that make merchandise and stuff for this movie forget that the movie's not about him. You know what I mean? Like the whole.
That's why I was, when Rucking Fountain came up with that limited, and they haven't reprinted that one.
Yeah,
that
the most of it is
they've reprinted
about
a lot of their
Bill,
super limited ones, but yeah, they printed out a shirt that had a big Buffalo Bill on it, which is cool.
So yeah, but that's what I have to say about this. I don't think I really have to say much. I mean,
yeah, like I said, what year did it come out? It's probably something back here.
It had Anthony
1990.
Hopkins, my boy.
Yeah, this was definitely the beginning of what 90s horror movies were and are. Because when you get in 90s, you get a lot of thriller horror movies, and this is kind of on the edge of that. Because it's about it. It's like part police procedural, part slasher movie kind of, even though it's not really like a slasher movie at all.
Yeah.
But it's got that, serial killer and, it's finding out who it is.
Well, and it's weird, too, that he's a bigger star, so obviously he's not going to go to, like, horror conventions and stuff, and it's just weird that he doesn't... Well, no, recently there was a commercial on... I don't know if it was on TV, but
He's
it was
on
like,
Westworld now, man.
Yeah, when you scroll through Instagram, like, the ads that are there was a thing for Alexa. I know she's going to be like, yes, oh, thank God.
Oh, I unplugged her.
Oh, thank God. But yeah, there was a commercial with Alexa, and it was him obviously being Alexa, and I was just like, can I get this version, instead? I like this one. It's like, can you turn on the light? There is no light.
This is the second Hannibal movie. Because they released one in the 80s that Anthony Hopkins doesn't play Hannibal in.
Oh, yeah.
Called Manhunter.
Huh.
Which is set before this.
That probably makes more sense.
But they ended up remaking it because it was Red Dragon. Which is the Manhunter. It's the same story.
Which one's better then?
Manhunter. Even though I love Edward Norton and Anthony Hopkins. The problem is that, like I said, it's set before this. And Anthony Hopkins looks so fucking old in Red Dragon compared to this that you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Although the dynamic between Edward Norton's character and Hannibal Lecter is much more interesting because with Clarice he's kind of like seductive or like kind of like playful, and fucking Edward Norton doesn't have any of his shit. Like he doesn't want to play any of his games.
Yeah,
he doesn't do
he's
that
like,
shit.
no.
Yeah. There's kind of more, which means that fucking Hannibal actually fucking hates Edward Norton's character. Like he wants to kill him. Unlike Clarice doesn't really want to do anything to her.
Just kind of fucks with her really a little bit.
And so it makes that one a little bit more.
Yeah, which is weird, right? That he never was like, "I'm gonna eat you, girl," in both ways.
I think he, because she was willing to play his games or whatever, that he was like, whatever. But yeah, Silence of the Lambs, classic. Another classic. My number 8, I believe, also does. I don't have a visual representation of. And this might be on your list, so I probably should have changed it.
Oh well.
I didn't want us to have the same stuff. That's why I didn't pick certain things. Because my number 8 is Trick or Treat. Not the Sammy Kerr heavy metal 80s movie
Treat
with has Ozzy Osbourne and it had Gene Simmons in it. Talking about Trick or Treat, the Michael Dougherty 2007 film.
Which, if he moves his
Sam.
head, there is some
Sam stuff.
There's Sam Boy over there somewhere.
Yeah, there's some Sam stuff everywhere back here. Great movie. I don't think, besides a movie that's on your list, actually, you know what? I would argue that the movie that's on your list that I'm thinking of, this movie has more Halloween vibe than just about any other movie in existence because it's like so like.
I'll say it is on my list.
It just reeks of Halloween and like the spirit of the season,
why I love it.
and well, that's what makes it so good, right? Is that it's like Tales of Halloween is another good Halloween-centric anthology movie, but this one, it just has such
it captures like the color too and the feeling.
There's so many oranges and like
reds and it's the movie's full of like warm tones, which is nice. Dark.
Particularly the part where they're in the town. There's like the parade. The colors and everything are just so like Halloween-centric that you're just like it gives you that feeling of like wow, like it's fall time. It's a little cold out. People run around trick-or-treating, there's jack-o'-lantern and stuff like that. It really gives you that feeling of like Halloween. And the stories are good.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a weak story in the bunch. Because most anthology flicks, I feel like, have like a weak one in there.
Yeah, where there's a couple.
Like there's one on my list that's higher up that I will admit has in my opinion, a really weak segment. But I think that's one. I'm trying to go through it. So there's the serial killer dad one. Well, we open up the movie with the chick throwing out the pumpkin. Great opening thing.
Yeah, and then
the serial killer dad, which is a good one.
I thought it was the vampire guy. That's next.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Oh yeah, it is the same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy. Serial killer dad. Great one. Funny one. Then it's the werewolf chicks. The opening of the werewolf chicks.
Yeah.
And this first reveal of the vampire guy, I think.
Yeah, because they go on the date with him later, and then that's the guy they kill when you find out that they're... oh yeah, spoiler fucking alert. Put
Jesus
that
Christ.
on there.
And then it's, fuck. And is it the pumpkin kid one? With the girl with autism and she's got the pumpkins, or I don't know if she's autistic. She's definitely something.
Is that the one where they...
Yeah, the one with the kids. Yeah.
Then the kids eat her at the end, or all the other...
All the other kids, yeah. I think that one's next, yeah. That one's good, too. Yeah.
I don't think she's all... I think she was just really weird. Like, and they like, purposely,
I think there's an implication that she's, like...
Maybe. I don't know.
Not mentally disabled, but, like...
She's just a super
has a
awkward,
problem
weird
functioning
girl.
in some way.
Like, that's what I took
And then I
her
think
as.
it's the rest of the werewolves thing. I have a really hard time remembering this movie right now for some reason. And then I think after that it's the old man.
Yeah.
And that closes out the movie. So they're all good segments.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sam, I think, deserves to be, hopefully, one of the new... Seems like he's becoming one of the new, like, horror Halloween icon kind of deal, where it's like...
Well, yeah, because there's definitely people who are like
Jason,
horror
Freddy,
cons,
and Sam, and I want him to be in that
and
group.
in that category, yeah.
Yeah.
I put him up there. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I would like for potentially him to become, like, the...
Especially with Universal last year doing the trick-or-treat thing. We're in California, so the Hollywood one.
Yeah.
With them doing that,
except I wish that Sam could be like a mainstream horror kind of icon.
Yeah.
Where like, nobody's gonna reach the level that Freddy did in the 80s, but it'd be nice for more people to be like, oh, that's Sam from Trick or Treat. You know what I mean? As opposed to, similar to how somebody puts on a hockey mask, like, oh, you're Jason.
You're Jason, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's, just having a spirit of Halloween is, Sam Aang.
Yeah.
Having a spirit of Halloween is cool and fun. So yeah, that's my number, is that 8? Yeah, 8. Trick or Treat.
And
as I take a bite here.
Where's that from?
Trick or Treat Studios.
Oh, there you go. Shout out to them too if you want cute, if you like horror merchandise. Their stuff's not super cheap, but it's good quality.
I mean, that was $20.
So, well, yeah, but
That's
I'm saying like their masks and stuff. My 8 is Halloween 3, actually.
Halloween 3, there you go. That's the one that I was alluding to on my, I was saying, another movie that really captures the spirit of Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's because you see a lot of the kids, too.
More so than, get your coffee.
I know, I'm sorry, my bad.
More so than Halloween 1, in my opinion. I think it's got more Halloween vibes than that. Not movie, but Halloween, like the season, the holiday.
Well, I noticed with the 3 masks, it's the colors of Halloween. When I, make a room spooky or something, I use those colors.
Yeah, orange, white, and green. Yeah.
And purple and green together as a contrast.
Totally. Yeah, it's got a lot of flack when it first came out. I remember when I was a kid renting it, or I was getting into movies, or my dad was like, "Oh yeah, the movie's terrible," and it had that reputation for a long time, where people were like, "Oh, it's bad."
But it's just because it's not related to the first two at all.
Michael Myers in it,
which I could see people being really angry about.
Yeah, I think in seeing some making of stuff about it, they were the last minute. The guy who directed it, I can't remember his name, and it's covered up in the back. He wanted to take Halloween off of it, just call it Season of the Witch. Mm-hmm. And the studio was like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, I don't think it would have, because it made money, but that doesn't mean people like it.
Yeah. Because this was at a time where they wanted to make the movies an anthology series.
When that was cool.
Yeah, where it was like, oh, each movie will be different, but set around the Halloween theme, where it's like, it all takes place around Halloween, which is a cool idea.
I don't know, maybe that's what Scary Stories will do. That kind of idea, what it could.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, that's what I wanted with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be, each season,
I
each season
that.
would be a different story based around like the 80s kind of Stephen King vibe-ish kind of thing, you know what I mean? But they obviously didn't go that way, and it worked out fine.
Yeah, we're not getting 3 this year for Halloween, huh?
I don't think so.
No. We would know by season 3.
We would know by now for sure. Yeah, Season of the Witch.
Unless they're just going to be all quiet about it and just drop it and be like, hey, by the way.
The high level of this is that Irish witches are making masks to kill children.
Yeah.
and Tom Atkins with a mustache has to stop it with his mustache.
The weird
That's
stone thing.
That's a great one. The scene where the kid...
God.
The scene where the kid gets his head melted is iconic.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's really gross.
Great soundtrack too, because John Carpenter did this soundtrack as well. I believe he wrote it too. He was involved in a version of the script at least. Because he was the one that was pushing that Michael Myers was dead after part 2.
Yeah, weird.
He was like, Michael Myers is dead, stop.
No more.
Yeah, no more Michael Myers, please. But yeah, there you go. Number 8. Halloween 3. My number 8. I finally have a copy of one of my movies. Number 8. Another anthology movie that I was referring to that I said has a weak segment. Creepshow.
Oh, yeah.
Great one. Have a giant Creepshow poster in our house because I love this movie. I'm a big Stephen King fan, so that's part of the reason why, because he wrote this and he's in it, as you know. Meteor shit guy. But yeah, it's good stuff. I think probably the first anthology movie I ever seen that introduced me to the idea of like that kind of film or that kind of story where it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of different stories in one. It made me fall in love with that format.
And it's, I don't know, sometimes I like that too, when you're kind of like, well, I don't really like this story, and then you're like, oh, well, I know there's another one next,
just,
you know?
Coming next. Let's go through the stories.
Which is the weak one?
The weak one?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so first one is Father's Day.
That one's
Where's
good
My
one.
Cake? Great one.
Yeah.
Great opening segment. Even though the ending's so weird and so just like out of nowhere that you're like, what? Where, like, okay. But it's, you know, Ed Harris is really funny in it. There's like great moments in it. The second one, I believe, is... God, I can't remember. Jesus Christ.
Want me to look at the thing?
Oh, yeah, it was the Meteor one. Also okay.
Yeah,
Good
that
one.
one's okay. And
Good
then
one.
it's
The
the
Meteor. Then it's...
the beach one, right?
No, then it's the Crate.
The one with the fluffy?
Yes.
I thought
which
that
is,
one was almost last, but...
No, it's a Crate, which
the
is
cockroach one's last, right?
widely considered to be the best one, which I would almost agree with that.
Yes.
I would agree that it is the best one.
That one's
Crate
good,
is the
yes.
best one. The professor guy in it is so funny. There are a lot of funny moments in that one that are just like over the top. That it's absolutely hilarious. And then the fourth one, because there's 5 stories in this.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
good, yeah. Fourth one is my favorite one, which is the Something to Tide You Over.
That's the
Ted
one,
Danson
okay.
and Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen's so funny. The ending with the I Can Hold My Breath for a Long Time is fun. Also my favorite horror section song is the one based off that one.
Shout out to horror section though.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
Which honestly, that's probably... I think I told Dave that's my favorite song one time. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's a fucking great song. Because it's only like 45-second song or something like that.
Weird.
Which they should just do a whole release based on Creepshow, but that's, you know. And do the one side Creepshow, the other side Creepshow too. Yeah, just saying. Well, a Chief Woodenhead song would be really hard to make. Because I don't think you've seen Creepshow too.
I don't think so either.
Oh my god, there's one where like, you know those like Indian wooden things, you know, like places like a general store and has like an Indian, like a carved Indian. Like one of those comes to life and is like killing people or whatever. It's really fucking dumb. But the one I think is weak is the last one with the cockroaches. It's kind of a snoozer.
Cause I mean it's only bad if you don't like bugs.
Yeah,
But-
and it's like I don't like bugs, but it's still just like, oh, like I guess cockroaches are kind of gross, I guess, but it's like it's a whole like neat freak kind
Clean,
of OCD kind. Yeah, it's like like whatever.
I need everything to be sanitary kind of thing.
But you know, it doesn't take away from the rest of it. It's still great opening, which I used in the intro to our podcast. Tom Atkins again. Mustacheless this time though.
Mustache.
Which is why he's not as cool. Which is why he's an angry horror dad, because he doesn't have a mustache. Yeah, great fucking movie. Can't recommend enough. George Romero, Stephen King. I ended up being a big deal is that they were like, it's George Romero and Stephen King together, and everyone's like, whoa, what the fuck? Yeah. Creepshow. My number 7.
My number 7, I wish we had, but no, because you said this earlier. The Collector. It.
It was on a VHS copy though.
Yeah, but I prefer 1 over 2 if you've seen them. Just 2's weird to me.
2's fucking horrible.
Like what? Why is he killing a bunch of people in a club? That is nothing to do with
2 is so like
anything.
over the top.
Yeah.
That although the ending is cool.
Yeah, the ending's good,
Yeah.
but
2 is just not.
Yeah. And it's for, I mean, I like traps. Like, that's why I like the Saw franchise. Traps fascinate me. I don't know why.
We should lay out the tidbit that originally when it was written, the guys who wrote it, because they had worked on the Saw franchise in some other capacity, they wanted, this was written as a Jigsaw, as like a Saw prequel originally.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
They were like, oh, this is what Jigsaw was doing
really
beforehand.
Cool. But
before they ended up doing all the this is before they did all the Jigsaw stuff in like 4 or 5, and everything, where they were like, oh, like he was like a whatever, and then he snapped or whatever. The Collector was Jigsaw like pre Saw 1 or whatever. So that's kind of interesting. Although. It's kind of more interesting as like a standalone movie because there's so many weird things.
Well, because the
like
guy
the
doesn't really.
Like that.
Yeah, the guy doesn't really seem that crazy. Like there are points that you can like kind of see more of his face, or whatever. And I think there's.
I saw somebody selling his mask online too the other day. Like the Collector mask.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. It was some guy who was like custom mask or whatever.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I want one.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. So it's you haven't seen it. It's weird. There's a lot of people that haven't seen it. Talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh no, I've never seen that. And I'm like,
yeah, because if you like Saw and you like traps and gore and all that kind of, it's not. I wouldn't say it's gore porn. It's not but there are and there's more of them just kind of walking into random traps too. Essentially, I guess I'll say, and not being being set up.
The high level is a guy breaks into these people's house to rob them after being there, and then it turns out that there's like this like crazy serial killer trap guy in there, and then he's got to get out of there.
Yeah, so he's pretty much got to fight him.
Inside of the house. Yeah, he's a burglar trapped inside of a house.
Yeah. Which is kind of like.
Yeah, it's good. It's it's a perfectly fun movie. Fun's a weird word for it,
but yeah. We know what you mean. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. My number 6. My number 6 is man, I've seen this movie so many times, and that it is Friday the 13th Part 6. My 6 is Part 6. Jason Lives. My favorite Friday the 13th flick. We constantly are like, oh, favorite and best. Part 4 is the best one. Everybody knows that. But this is my favorite one because it's fucking amazing. Tom McLaughlin, who directed it, fucking phenomenal. I think we were watching it the other day, and you laughed. Yeah, I don't think you really seen that much. You laughed at the part where the cemetery. What is his name? Like a guy that works at a cemetery. That's not a mortician.
Why did you just do this to me? Oh my god.
The grave keeper. I don't know why. The crypt keeper. Yeah, that guy. He looks at the camera and goes, "What do you think I am, a fart head?" Or whatever.
Yeah,
and the kids, the kids, and it cuts to the kids at the summer camp and they go, "Yes." There's a lot of that stuff.
I was walking out the kitchen and I couldn't see it, so
which,
I was just like, "Oh."
Just weirdly enough, plays back in the horror comedy thing. Where, it brought a little bit of that levity into it, a little bit of. It was the first kind of like self-aware Friday the 13th movie where they're like, oh, like we get that this is the formula, we get that this is, we can have fun with this. And there's a lot of gothic imagery, which Tom McLaughlin said that he intentionally was trying to put that in, there's like cemeteries, there's, with grates and stuff like that, like there's, fog, there's heavy fog and on the night scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I remember watching when they pulled the stake thing off of it, and I was like, well, that's a very older, weird design to pick.
And it's like a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He gets really like Frankenstein. This is the first Marine where he's a zombie, technically.
Oh yeah,
because before this,
he looks cool too.
Before this, he's just a dude that's really hard to kill.
Yeah, because this is the first kind of thing where he turns like supernaturally.
Yeah,
like,
this is like the first one. But yeah, as I said, it's funny. It's got some funny kills in it. It's got a lot of Alice Cooper in it, which is rad.
Doesn't he play someone's dad or something?
He plays Freddy's dad in Freddy's Dead, yeah. But in this one, they play Norman, Mr. Nice Guy during one of the scenes. And then he also did a song for this movie called "He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask."
Weird.
And it was like created for this movie, I guess. Yeah. And what's his name? God, what's his name? It's got the definitive Tommy Jarvis in here. The one that they use in the game, actually. God, what is his name? They actually don't have credits on the back here. It's the first time I've seen that. The last appearance of Tommy Jarvis, which I wish they'd bring him back for something. Bring back the character for something that'd be cool.
Maybe they will.
Yeah.
Like we said with the Halloween, maybe it'll show.
With the Freddy vs. Jason, they did 2 comic sequels. Because they did Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, and they did Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. I think it was like the Nightmare Warriors or something. And what was cool is they brought back all the people who had survived them, and they were like part of a team. And so it was Tommy Jarvis, it was Tina from Part 7 with the psychic powers. Yeah. Like it was like people that had survived Freddy, and they were all like a team to fight against them. Cool. So that'd be a very cool idea, but that movie's never gonna happen. But you could bring Tommy Jarvis. You know what? He was in Never Hike Alone. Remember?
Oh, he was. At the end,
Never Hike Alone, and it was the same actor. Yeah. From this as Tommy Jarvis, and I was like, I would lose my mind.
Because doesn't he
if
be
Tommy
like,
Jarvis,
remember me, fucker?
Yeah. He's like, remember me, motherfucker, and then he like hits him with the car or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Never Hike Alone. You should watch that. That's great. But yeah, probably 13th Part 6, my favorite Jason flick. And just a great, fun movie, and it's the only one that's like got a weird spine on it too.
Yeah, yours has my 6 is
6'6". Oh wow! Wow, look at that waxwork.
You probably thought that was gonna be higher.
That's about probably where I put it.
Yeah, but yeah, this first couple times I saw this, my brain had to be like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
The best horror film of the year. It says.
Yeah. If you like creatures, so this basically
1988 is when it came out too. You probably think of a better movie that came out in 1988.
Like there's this wax museum randomly shows up in a town, just kind of poof, killer clown status there, and these kids go in and they need souls or whatever to make the paintings and like waxworks finished or whatever, and it's the kids kind of falling into it.
Oh yeah, it's the kid from Gremlins.
Yeah. And so if you like creatures and you like old school.
Yeah, there's a lot of classic monsters.
Yeah, there's a lot of classic monsters done a little weird, or
including a weird Marquis de Sade fucking sex scene.
Yeah, that's in there.
Yeah, the weird BDSM Marquis de Sade thing.
Okay.
It's somehow weirder than Hellraiser.
Yeah.
That part.
Well, it's like, Hellraiser. It's a like actual punishment. That was for like.
Yeah. I don't know. And the guy who plays Marquis de Sade is some weird like Fabio knockoff.
Yeah, it's really funny. So. It's not,
I love how it says
it's
a
not
comedy,
the best acted.
A comedy of terrors.
Yeah. Is the cover, you can't really see it over there, but, it's a good one.
Yeah. I didn't know that the main guy is the kid from Gremlins.
Oh, yeah.
It's the guy from Gremlins. And we recently, I'd never seen it, and Nicole never seen it, we recently watched Part 2, which was fucking weird. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like a time travel story.
Yeah, I don't.
And it takes place like directly after this, and like just that weird sequel thing where it's like nobody believed that this happened or whatever. It's like really weird.
Yeah. So that's what is that? 6?
Yeah, waxwork. Wow.
And that I found, if you guys remember, like when Comcast would have
On Demand.
and you could go through that. That's how I found a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
But that wasn't until I was like 16, 17, probably.
I'm trying to remember who played the owner of
the place.
Yeah, I remember it being somebody that I.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
Number 5. I think my number 5 is also, I'm gonna have to insert in here digitally.
Yep.
Number 5 here.
Wow.
Actually, you know what? I can just use this.
Oh.
Because my number 5 is The Witch. Wow.
And that poster is.
Yeah, the poster up there. You can't see.
Ooh, ow.
It's probably the most recent. It is the most recent movie on my list because it came out in 20. I don't know. In 20, I don't know. Definitely after 2007, which is when Trick or Treat came out. Yeah, this movie's fucking phenomenal. I remember it was so divisive when it came out because it's such a slow burn of a movie.
Yeah, but it's worth it though.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It kind of makes you think like, am I going crazy with the people on screen? Like, what the?
Yeah,
fuck?
I always talk
like,
about my interpretation of the film, and that my belief is that none of the supernatural stuff is actually happening. It's all like representative of their like mental state deteriorating, and their fear of religion and all that stuff, or their fear that their religion is instilling within them, and that Black Phillip here is just a representative of freedom and all that stuff like that. We can talk about that another day. But yeah, great fucking film. I can't wait to see. This guy's doing something right now. He's doing like another movie. I can't fucking wait because this movie's phenomenal. It's a great soundtrack. Yeah. It's a horror movie.
Cool.
I love a good slow burn, and this is like a perfectly slow burn. There are so many disturbing images and scenes in this movie that will stick with me for like a long time.
Yeah.
But you know what? And it was funny because people were like, "If you love The Witch, you'll love Hereditary," and that would make me go like, "Hell yes!" Because like The Witch is one of my fucking favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. And then I didn't like it. I didn't like the last 15 minutes or so. So, yeah, number 5, The Witch. One day I'll go over my full interpretation of the movie. That I think
cool
is.
video.
Well, I think that's what. My interpretation of it is what makes me love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. We're on 5, you said?
Yep.
Mine. Well, you already had it on yours. Trick or Treat. So
Trick or Treat.
that's
Well,
what
look
mine
at that.
is. Wow.
Wow.
Because like I said, it's the whole thing. You just watch it and you feel Halloween like instantly.
It's a Halloween. It's like Halloween the movie.
Yeah.
Even though there's already a movie called Halloween. But it's more so like Halloween the holiday the movie.
Yeah, because I don't know, because it's got all the leaves everywhere too. And lately, I've never really liked like normal pumpkins or like harvesty stuff.
But it's so fucking smart just to have like this character is the representation of the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like
cute, and he's super cute too.
That's super fucking smart, you know.
I love him without the mask. You know, he looks kind of gross.
Oh, yeah, I don't like
he's
the mask.
grossly adorable.
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah. That's a quick one.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is my favorite vampire movie.
Ah.
Wow. And one that you only saw recently, and it is Fright Night. Fucking phenomenal. Like I said, it's my favorite vampire movie. Tom Holland is. That's who did it, right? Jesus Christ. My brain's.
See, I
crapping out.
switched the Collector out for that.
Really?
Or Fright Night, yeah.
Really? Wow.
I switched that for Collector, yeah.
It's just it's a classic story.
With the ugliest vampire ever. I'm sorry, he is
we
not
can talk
cute.
about we can talk about that in a second. It's a classic story of a kid next door who's really kid who's really into horror movies, sees some suspicious stuff next door, and he's like, oh my neighbor's a vampire.
Yeah. Which
since the kid is so since the kid's like so obsessed with horror movies, they're like, oh, like you're just imagining that, but he's not. He's actually a vampire. And chaos and antics ensue after that.
I didn't know he's on our cover.
Yes, cool. Yeah. Well, because I thought it was interesting because the traditional cover of this movie is the house with the vampire above it. But then I found this one, I was like, oh, that's so weird. I've never seen that cover before. But yeah, he got Jerry Dandridge. who's the vampire in the movie. Who's played by what's his name in the sequel? Or not sequel, the remake. Colin Farrell. He's played by Colin Farrell in the remake. Better looking guy. Not, than, what's the guy's name in here? God, I can't find his name in here. But yeah, he's supposed to be this like really sexy like like seductive vampire, because that's kind of like a vampire thing where it's like, oh, they're so good looking at it. Even though I'm sure like part of the it's supposed to be part of the like vampire.
Well, because I remember watching it for the first time. Part of the vampire
power is being able to attract people, I think.
Yeah.
Like that's like a power thing. Where it's like, that's part of being a vampire. But this guy is so like not sexy looking. He's
not sexy.
He's so like
all.
He's so like average 80s dad looking.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
and
weird.
There's like a whole like sexy like dance scene thing happening.
Oh, when they're in the club.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
And they're both looking at each other like.
And I'm like, oh.
What was there's a movie like there's a movie on your list that we'll talk about where there's somebody that's supposed to be super sexy and seductive, and I'm always like, oh no.
Oh no.
And you probably know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about the best part of the movie. It's Peter Vincent.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. It's so the best part of this movie.
Well, I like in the remake. It's
David Tennant, and he's like Chris Angel.
Chris Angel, yeah.
But yeah, this Peter Vincent, obviously based off of Peter Cushing or Vince Price and stuff like that. Which I think he's Tom Holland recently on the episode of Shockwaves was like, oh, I wanted Christopher Lee to do that part.
Yeah, that
but there's no way that he would have done it because it's kind of like a self-parody. But yeah, Peter Vincent, amazing character.
Well, I love that at first he's like, oh no, that's not me. And then he goes back to his house and there's like vampire shit everywhere. And I'm like,
Well, there's an amazing moment when he looks in the mirror and then sees that he's not there. And when he looks in his pocket
and when his thing and then it drops, and he's like, oh fuck.
So funny. And then he gets the fuck out of there and then he comes back later on.
He runs out.
I even like the fucking sequel, as weird as it is. It's a weird movie. With that weird werewolf guy and all stuff like that.
It's just weird he goes to college. Like, what the fuck? Like,
well, and then it's this vampire's like sister or whatever. Really strange.
Yeah.
Amazing effects at the end of the movie too. Like when he gets all vampired out, when they have the bat.
Oh yeah, and he looks super gross.
And when his gay friend gets destroyed or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gayness in this too.
Yeah, because that looks really cool when his all his skin melts off and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of gay overtones in this too, which also makes it awesome.
Yeah.
Not as many gay overtones as your favorite, probably, but because it was just full of it. Yeah. My number 4. Fright Night.
My number 4. We'll have to put here. Wow. Is Grave Dancers.
Almost the name for this podcast.
Yeah, so, I don't even know how to fucking explain this movie. Basically, grave dancers, yes, they dance on someone's grave and read some fucked up poem thing, and then they get haunted by people there, and some of these ghosts are gross. Like, and there's one guy that's like a lawyer and like a pervert, and it shows that like the ghost physically in front of them. It terrifies me, and I'm like, oh god, like he's probably seen me watch this, and every time I'm like, oh, I want to see it because it's gross, but I don't want to see it because it's gonna scare me tonight. So, yeah, but some of the acting at times. Questionable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mid-2000s horror movie.
Yeah.
It's a mid-2000s low-budget horror movie.
Yeah.
So, you get what you pay for.
Yeah. Because out of the 3 people that haunt them, the kid, I think, is probably the worst one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, I mean, I don't really care for the, like, characters in it either. Like, maybe a couple, like, you're like, okay, whatever, hope they don't die, but whatever, But yeah, that's Grave Dancers, so.
I think we watched that pretty early on in our relationship. And I was like, This isn't very good.
You're like, oh no.
Okay, yeah, grave dancers. Dance on the graves. Wow.
Wow.
My number 3, I actually get a lot of shit sometimes for liking this movie, so I don't fucking want to hear it at all. Even though it's not fucking a bad movie, it's not like it's a Grave Dancers,
You know
or
what?
it's like a Blair Witch 2 or whatever.
Shut up.
It's fucking Scream.
Okay, it's
I get some shit for this sometimes where I'm like, Scream is one of the greatest horror films ever made. It's fucking awesome.
I will admit, the first time that I fully watched this, I didn't expect it to be both of them.
Yeah,
So-
well, I mean, you were convinced. It was funny because I think the first time you watched it wasn't even that long ago.
It was not like, it's fucking Dewey.
You're like, it's Dewey. You're like, Dewey's the fucking
But
killer.
I think I was forgetting that the scary movie version was that.
Oh yeah,
So I think that's what I
you
was
were like,
thinking
yeah.
of. Oops.
Which this is also a weird cover for this movie because it's normally
Yeah.
the ghost face with them in the front. That's why I was like, oh, it's a weird cover.
Yeah.
It's got like behind the scenes footage on it or whatever. But yeah, fucking great film. I had never seen a movie that like spoke the horror movie language of like nerdiness.
Oh, all the
Or
extra
it was-
little jokes and shit.
Well,
like,
this is the first time that a movie was like meta, and the first time a movie was, the first time a movie would talk about what horror movies, talk about the formula of horror movies, or talk about, the in jokes and the, you got to be a virgin to survive and all that stuff like that. This is the first time they like did that shit, where they would joke about the rules of a horror movie or whatever, and it fucking, I think it spoke to a young Jake where I was like, yeah, like.
wow.
Maybe being a virgin isn't so bad. At least I could survive a horror movie. But yeah, and like I said, the first time you watch it, you don't know who or what the killer is or whatever, and you kind of don't see what's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't see the big twist coming, which I could just spoil it. But you know what? Just in case there's one person out there that's like, I haven't seen it, then it's like, it's funny because you were watching Riverdale recently, and Skeet Ulrich is in that.
Yeah, oh
And
my
I was
god,
like,
he looks so
did
bad.
not recognize him at all.
Well, in this, he looks identical to a young
He
Johnny
looks like
Depp.
a young Johnny Depp, yeah.
Like, and sometimes there were some shots that I was like, is that
He
him?
doesn't look like old Johnny Depp.
No. Ooh, I mean, he does not look good in Riverdale.
Yeah.
So,
And Scream 2 and 3 I don't like. Scream 4 I do like. I honestly wish they somehow had done like a Halloween 2018 where just Scream 4 was the only sequel to this or whatever, because it's a really cool sequel. It updates everything for the time period where they were able to be meta with that time period's movies and everything like that. But yeah, it's fucking Scream, great movie. I'm sure everybody's fucking seen it, but there you go, Scream.
we got 3. My 3 is your boy
Wow,
classic
Hellraiser.
Wow, we got a right
Yeah,
here.
right there.
Wonderful. Yeah, but I mean, it's your classic weird BDSM looking demon.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I like that look. I'm a fan. So, it's gross. I mean, Frank is fucking gross. Ew.
Yeah, Uncle Frank, yeah.
Oh,
Disgusting. Well, what's interesting is that, Pinhead and the Cenobites aren't even in it that much.
yeah, no.
But it's still kind of iconic, and it's like, everything else about it's so good that, you forget kind of that the Cenobites are in the first minute or so, and then in the last 20 minutes of the movie, probably.
Yeah,
Less than that. It's crazy.
because they're in the
Yeah.
second one more, but
Yeah, they're in the second one way more, which I do like more. I do like the second one more. Hellbound. Hellraiser 2. But you can't deny the fucking brilliance of this movie. I really recommend, if you have Shudder, again, shout out to Shudder, the Joe Bob Briggs version of it.
did we watch it? Yeah, we did watch it.
Yeah, because we watched it live and it was on, which you can watch them all on there. I recommend him doing all of those, because you can watch them on there.
Oh, cool.
You can watch Sleepaway Camp or whatever, and has his stuff on it. But this is on there too. I recommend that version, even if you have seen it, because he's funny as fuck, and he has a lot of cool insight in the movie. Because in between his rants, he also has a lot of insight about what was Clive Barker doing and what was going on and all that stuff. I just watched a documentary on the making of this one, That's on Shudder.
Ooh.
And they were saying that they would have to go to the store and buy all the latex and all the.
Really?
They would have to go to the store and buy all the condoms for the latex.
Huh.
And the KY jelly for the like drippiness on.
Oh yeah, I could see that with it. Yeah.
So they
like a wet.
they all these
stuff,
people going into the store and being like, "Can I have all your condoms and KY jelly, please?"
What?
And one of the guys I think was like, "Are you having a party?" Was his question, which was hilarious. And this is what I was alluding to on my number 3 with somebody who's supposed to be seductive and sexy, and is like, "What?
Oh,
Is the mom in this?
fucking,
the mom, the stepmom."
Lisa or whatever.
Yeah, whatever her
name
name
is.
is.
I think
What?
it's Lisa. Julia. There
Julia,
we go.
yeah, Julia. She's supposed to be this like seductress, sexy.
Yeah, that all the
kind
guys
of,
are like.
all the guys are like all these businessmen that she's like luring in are like fucking hot
Like,
shot.
yeah,
for.
they just eat out of her palm. And
Yeah, and
she's
I'm
not
like,
hot at
she is
all.
not a like.
She's
no
got like
offense
big
to
ass
anybody.
shoulder pads.
Yeah, no offense to anybody, but she is just not a.
I think
like,
it was that like
good-looking
large
woman.
and in charge like thing. Like I'm your boss.
She has that grandma
like,
haircut.
Yeah, it's not flattering.
Yeah, she had that grandma hair, and it's just not very. Yeah.
I'm
So.
gonna get a fucking cold beer because this is gross.
Yeah.
Do you want a cold beer?
Yeah, I could eat a cold beer.
Okay. It's not like you said a cold beer.
But yeah, I don't think you've seen all of these, have you?
No.
No.
I think I stopped after 3.
I think you've seen 4 because we
4?
watched 4 one time.
Because I
It's
think
in
I was like,
space.
that was really yeah.
3's kind of the last.
We won't even talk about
Yeah,
that one.
I'll just keep talking.
Give me, take your thing out.
Hold on, let me finish it.
Chug it. Just leave that in there. Fuck it.
3's kind of the last good one.
Yeah.
The last one worth watching.
Yeah.
People can't hear you over there.
Oh. Well, mention CD head that he's not.
Yeah. I mean, 3's, you know, 3's the last good one in the sense that it's kind of completes the Pinhead story. Even though 3 has the ridiculous moments of like fucking him in the pillar or whatever, which just makes me laugh every single time because it looks fucking ridiculous.
However, I will add, I like 3
And CD head.
because of the club that it takes, you know, a lot of it
Yeah, it's
takes
like
place in.
Dante's
I really,
Inferno,
yeah. I thought it was like the Inferno room or something
Yeah,
like that.
Inferno.
Yeah, I liked
It's
the.
definitely a Dante's Inferno reference.
Yeah. So I like that though.
But yeah, it's,
I thought it was a cool
but
concept.
CD head.
Yeah, not ooh. What was? God, what was
And the camera head guy,
camera
remember?
head guy?
But it is nice to watch those 3 to finish that story because it kind of closes the book on that story.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones after that, honestly, 4, which is on your shirt actually, Bloodlines, because these are all space horror movies on here.
That's what I figured with
That's
the
the theme
green.
on there. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Leprechaun 4 in space. And I love how they just called that one
Killer Clowns
in
is on the
space.
bottom.
Yeah, Killer Clowns and Event Horizon. Well, it's weird because most ones after this one, they were scripts that they got, and then they were like, "How can we make this a Hellraiser movie?" And so they would just add Pinhead and shit into it. So they're really bad. What was I remember renting one with my dad. I think it was Hellworld, which is one that's like, it's like an MMORPG. Is the like premise of it is that they have like a Hellraiser MMORPG. It's really fucking horrible.
Yeah, what
and I haven't seen the newest one yet. I watched the one before that. That was like the found footage one in Tijuana. It was really bad. Where it was the first one that didn't have Doug Bradley Pinhead in it. It was bad. But yeah, Hellraiser.
For a second, I thought I flipped these wrong, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Are you good?
Yeah, we good. We got number
My
2.
number 2. Can you guess what my number 2 is? It's a number 2. Believe it or not.
I don't know.
It's fuck this. I love this movie.
I
It
know.
is Evil
Oh.
Dead 2,
Oh.
Dead by Dawn. It's kind of number 2. It's kind of a remake because they have that whole like section at the beginning of it. But it's funny because I had a version of these movies edited that I would watch, and Bruce Campbell, when they were doing the press tour for the first season of Ash vs. Evil Dead, he confirmed that I was correct, in that it's meant to be watched as all one movie. So at the end of Evil Dead, he gets hit by the by the Deadite Force or whatever. And it's supposed to pick up with a shot in this one where he's getting picked up by it.
Okay, I can
and
see
then
that.
it's supposed to all like lead into one another, because like the problem was they did it with so many different studios and all that stuff that they had to like give you all this information that was only in the previous one. So it was like that's why they had to include all the Linda stuff at the beginning of this one, because it was like people haven't seen the first one, they don't have the rights to the footage from it because it's like a different studio and all that stuff like that. It caused like a lot of weird problems. But yeah, this movie is fucking. I like how the back of it has a quote. It says "the mother of all sequels," and it says it's Bruce Campbell. It's like him like talking up his own fucking movie. But yeah,
classic.
And you know that's this is movie where I first fell in love with Bruce Campbell, who I never want to meet because I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah, which I can understand.
He's one of those people that it's like if he was disappointing, he would fucking crush me. But yeah, fucking phenomenal movie. It's got the laughs. It's got the goofs. It's got gore galore.
Because I remember when I first watched it
with the moose.
It was the deer.
Yeah. He starts laughing.
I just busted out laughing.
It looks funny as hell. The chainsaw arm is the fucking most iconic thing in like fucking horror films, as far as I'm concerned. I was gonna burp there. Excuse me. And it's just fucking a phenomenal movie, man. It's just the ending sequence of the movie when he makes the chainsaw arm forward is like fucking dope.
True.
When he's fighting Henrietta in the basement and stuff. Fucking I could go on about this movie for forever.
Yeah, because he doesn't turn into the Ash that we know until this, really.
Yeah, I mean the first one he's a bumbling kind of scaredy cat fool, and then this one he is kind of that way in the beginning, but it's more so because he's losing his mind. He's kind of like stir crazy in the cabin and stuff like that, and he cuts his hand off and all that stuff. Which also the sequence where he's finding his hand is amazing too. The part where he shoots his hand and then gets like a fountain of blood in the face is amazing, because it's way more blood than a human body would ever have in this hand. But yeah, I can talk about it for forever, but it's probably been talked about ad nauseum as it is by other people. So yeah, my number 2 is Evil Dead 2. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars. So
yeah. And my number 2. This probably should not surprise you at all.
It's weird that it's that high.
Yeah.
To me.
No, I love Wishmaster. Like. Yeah, because I didn't think I had seen 2 as many as I have, but last night I didn't need to rewatch it.
2 is weird.
2 is really weird, but yeah.
There's a lot of biblical stuff in 2.
No, but whatever. But
it's much more about him being a demon in 2.
Yeah, it goes more into what he is essentially than this one.
It's like, I thought he was a genie.
Yeah, and some of the. Within the first 10 minutes you watch this fucking movie, oh my god, like, so much happens, like, just, what? Like, visually.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Because it's up with, like, ancient times, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. And then some king does something,
and people are getting disintegrated like skeletons and shit.
Yeah, this guy like turns into a snake, and it shows him. It's super fucking gross. Like people's skin is like being like burned off.
It's a great concept for a movie.
Yeah.
Like at a high level.
There is another one that I did see that is just called Jinn, and it's DJI. Yeah. And that one was good too. It's kind of the same concept with the Wishmaster
it's an interesting concept in that it's like, it's a guy that'll grant your wishes, but he wants to like manipulate them to be against you. That's a great idea for just a horror movie in general, to be like, because
some of the stuff that he does is really clever. You know what I mean?
Although my favorite part, I think, is the Kane Hodder cameo. The guy who plays Jason. I think he's like a security guard, and he's like, what do you want? He gets like, I want you to leave, and then he's like, no, and he's like walking away. Like that shit kills me because he's like walking away from him really quickly, and he's like, no. Yeah.
Nope.
And you got to meet Mr. Andrew Dill.
Yeah, and he's super sweet. So if you like Wishmaster and there's a chance to meet him, definitely do. So
yeah, he seems super appreciative to talk to somebody that was.
Yeah, because he has, he's brewed a special beer after.
It's like a red pepper beer or something. It has like pepper in it.
It's called Gin Halibut.
And he makes cool gin rings too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a. Maybe if I could find the place that makes them, I can link them down below.
Did you know that he was born in like South America?
No,
something like that. Yeah, I was like looking him up last night, and I was like, wow, he was born in like Venezuela, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something weird like that.
Yeah, and he I thought it was interesting when you were talking to him because he's not in 3 and 4.
No, he's only in 1 and 2.
You were like, why weren't you in 3 and 4? And he just was like, he said he was really concerned with like the script not being good enough, and that he felt like it was like doing a disservice to people who like it, to the fans.
The other guy that plays him definitely is not the same.
Yeah.
Because the first two, something about his smile and the things that he says at that just fucking creeps me out, and I'm like, no. Yeah. So, and that guy doesn't have the same, like his teeth are nice and straight still, but it's not the same, like sneering at you.
Yeah.
Like
it's not daddy.
Yeah. That's my dad.
Yeah. Great guy. Great film.
Probably great beer.
For me, it's fun movie to watch.
Yeah, because you can taste the beer.
It's got so many horror cameos in it too. It's got a guy who plays Candyman. It's got Robert Englund.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of people that are like horror cameos that are just came together to have fun for this movie, I guess. And it's like the perfect kind of late '90s horror movie almost.
Yeah.
Perfect kind of. It wasn't affected by Scream at all because like at a certain point, all those horror movies started getting affected by Scream. Like, I know what you did last summer and a lot of shit like that. Like, that was very Scream influenced, but this one was not. It was still in the style of that, 90s, 80s horror blend, which is fun, Recommended.
10 out of 10 would recommend. Obviously.
Okay.
It's surprised that you didn't think it was this high. But
I thought it would be probably like 8.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
I love Wishmaster.
My favorite horror movie, which is also my opinion the best horror movie of all time. My number 1. Can we say it on the count of 3? Mine?
Sure.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The Thing. Yes. The Thing is fucking absolutely my favorite horror movie of all time. And like I said, like your favorite and the best is a completely different thing. But I also think that The Thing is also the best horror movie of all time because it's just you can't.
Well, there's a lot of visual.
In my opinion, you just can't get better than this. Another movie where at the time it came out, it was just like slaughtered by everybody.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people said.
Yeah, everybody was like, fucking like, this is gore.
What the fuck is this?
Gore porn, horror, even though they hadn't invented the term gore porn yet.
Yeah.
They're like,
But I like all of the effects. Well, one of my
fucking phenomenal. I mean, you can't get better than that.
Is the part that I kind of gasped with. I was like, oh fuck! Like when the guy goes to resuscitate him, and it just opens and takes his hand, and I was like,
so cool.
Oh my god!
Fucking, it's interesting the things that you don't notice that make this movie different. It's an all-male cast.
Yeah, I do.
Not a single woman in the movie because it's an all-male like research station, and what's so great about this movie is the like paranoia and the fear of like, it's so palpable in.
Of you thinking your peers could be.
The
one
movie's
of them.
about distrust, and the movie's about like not, that aura of like, who's the thing now? Like, what's going on? There's this like a layer of
that constant thought of like betrayal, though. Like I'm talking to you, but in back of your mind, this person could be.
That's what makes movies so good is the paranoia and you as a viewer trying to figure out who's the thing at what particular moment. Even the ending has that that thing of like, is Charles the thing? Like, or is it not quite done yet? Like what's going on? And from what I understand, it's intentionally left that way to be like, is he the thing or is he not the thing?
Yeah.
Like, because this is the first of the 3 in the Apocalypse trilogy from John Carpenter. This, Prince of Darkness, and Mouth of Madness are the Apocalypse trilogy for him, and this is the best, obviously, in my opinion. And you know what? It's fact.
And I
that
like
it's the best.
this might be frowned upon, but I like the story of the prequel. I mean, even though it's named the same thing, I don't think they should have named it the same thing.
To show the Norwegian research station.
Like right before all of this happens.
Yeah, that's some cool, where they do things differently, because, like, one of the most tense scenes of this movie is the blood test.
Yeah.
Whether, testing the blood to see if it'll react or whatever. And what's cool about the prequel one is they do the fillings test. Because it can't recreate artificial things, so if they have fillings, then they know that they're human because it can't recreate the fillings in your teeth. And what's cool is what about the prequel is they subvert your expectation of like one of them's going to do the thing when none of them are at that moment.
Yeah,
it's super fucking smart.
Cool. Well, I hate though that they went over it with the really
it's all the
CGI
too. Stuff that fucked that movie up really hardcore.
Yeah, when they had the actual things done.
Yeah, they had it all done out.
I don't know why you...
Yeah, I own so much fucking Thing merchandise. All these things. That, it's gotta be one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And it's got fucking Kurt Russell in it.
Yeah.
Who's like...
Kurt Russell, though, very good.
Yeah,
job.
He's like the best looking man.
He's a good looking man. He still looks good.
And he still looks good.
Well, him and his wife, we were talking about this not long ago.
Him and his wife look like
really
fucking
good.
phenomenal. Goldie Hawn. But yeah, John Carpenter's a thing. I wish there were more John Carpenter movies on my fucking list, but I love all of them. The Fog, Prince of Darkness, Big Trouble in Little China. That's not a horror movie. They Live.
But
I also don't consider They Live a horror movie either. And About the Madness, which I think is severely underrated. But yeah, John Carpenter. Okay.
Yeah, and my number one is not a surprise to you at all. Nope.
The Lost Boys.
Yep.
Wow.
That happens from my being a kid, since that was the first like real horror I was introduced to.
Yeah.
So
Sexy Vampire Boys.
Yeah.
And Corey Feldman.
Oh shit. Well, not Corey Feldman.
No, I'm saying and Corey Feldman.
Oh yeah, I was like, leave him out of the sexy.
Like he's not included in the Sexy Vampire Boys.
Not at all. Not any of the sexy. The guy at the beginning, saxophone man, is sexier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tina Turner's saxophone player.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Didn't he play some, like they showed it at Santa Cruz?
Yeah.
And he was there.
He
played a song or whatever. That's fucking so dope.
Yeah.
I would have shit myself.
Because I thought Cheyenne went to that.
I don't know, yeah.
Someone I knew went to that. But
that's
I
so
was
funny.
like, lucky ass, because she went to the bridge too.
Yeah, but it's fucking, it's. I feel like the '80s had two iconic vampire movies. That was Fright Night and Lost Boys. And they kind of define a genre of like, for the next however many years, until now probably they kind of defined what they were. Until probably What We Do in the Shadows. They kind of defined what made a good, vampire movie.
Cool, good vampire.
Yeah, what made a cool vampire movie.
Not fucking. What was it? Fucking Team Edward bullshit.
Oh, Twilight.
Yeah, not all that shit.
I don't even like Interview with a Vampire, which I think you watched recently.
I tried to watch it and I thought it was boring as
Not good.
fuck.
Not a good movie.
You know what? Another vampire movie like I used to love as a kid, and this is really bad.
Dracula 2000.
Yep.
That's so fucking bad too. God, that's a fucking horrible movie.
Why?
That's a horror movie in a different way.
That and then Queen of the Damned was the other one.
Oh yeah. That's
Queen of the
early
Damned's good,
2000s, late 90s vampire stuff. This is fucking like, I don't know what it is about this movie that's so like
Well,
I try to put into words what makes it so like,
it has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the cool vampires.
It's got a little bit of that, teenage 80s adventure vibe a little bit, but not too heavy that it makes it like a not horror movie.
And there's a good,
horrific moments
action
in it.
sequence at the end. I will say the ending.
Death by Stereo is like the coolest part.
And the fucking head vampire being the fucking...
Great twist. Yeah, great twist.
What the fuck? Like him of all... Really?
So great twist because it was unexpected.
Yeah,
but
I was just like...
The dad from Richie Rich? What's up? Why is he a vampire?
I saw this ugly fool. Man, get out of here.
One has one of the best closing lines in probably a horror movie too.
Like...
When he says, the thing that I hate the most about Santa... Is it Santa Carla? This is Santa Clara.
I think
Santa Clara, because it's not real. Yeah. Santa Clara is a real place.
Yeah.
He says, he's like, thing I hate the most about Santa Clara, all the damn vampires, the grandpa. And you're like, what the fuck? What? like it's one of the best fucking cult lines.
Yeah, he didn't say nothing the whole time.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck, grandpa? Yeah,
Isn't it their house that they moved to or something? Like
they moved to the grandpa's house. Yeah. They moved into grandpa for undisclosed reasons of some sort.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Frog Brothers. What happened to the other Frog brother? Because Corey Feldman, Corey Haim from this took off. They had like fucking shot to the stratosphere.
Yeah, they did their own.
For a while at least, and then they fucking keep crashing down. But what happened to the other Frog brother? I mean, at least Corey Feldman was in the sequels. The Tribe and the Hunger or whatever.
Oh God, what is it? The Thirst.
The Thirst. It was not the Hunger, the Thirst, and the Tribe.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Both very.
Which wasn't it like one of them like the kid of David or something like that?
I don't even remember.
I'll look it up after.
There was so much
there are interesting plot points in it, but it's just executed so poorly that you're just like, oh.
I'm sorry. Like for some reason, things lately that we saw Corey Feldman walking into Monster Palooza.
Oh yeah, he was dressed like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and he had like a bunch of
he had like 16 security guards.
And I'm sorry. And another friend said that
weren't effective because I almost ran into them.
Yeah, I don't know who it was that just told me that they saw him at Starbucks or something. And I was like, yep, that sounds like him.
He was in Sacramento doing a show too.
Yeah, what the fuck? He's so weird. His band.
His album covers are fucking phenomenal. Have you seen those?
They look super.
It's like a really bad Photoshop drop of him being like dragged out of hell by angels and shit like that.
Flying
He's
high
really
in
lost
the sky, chilling. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
I think Kiefer Sutherland's son plays the head vampire and is what it is in one of the other ones.
That.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's not that he's his kid. It's that it's actual Kiefer Sutherland's kid, which is cool. But fucking horrible movie.
This is the only movie he's cute in, so we'll say
Kiefer?
that. He's he's not ugly, but.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else he was in when he was a younger guy. Bill's in it from Bill and Ted.
He don't look that cute.
He doesn't look good now. Yeah, fucking great vampire flick. Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Wow.
That's our top 10 favorite horror movies of all time.
Yeah. What time is it?
It's a cool 10 o'clock.
I'm tired. I'm hungry too, so I'm gonna figure out what.
Make some food. Thank you guys for watching and listening.
Yeah, hopefully. Also, wanted to mention that on this channel, sorry if you're not a girl, I will probably be doing like girl-related like horror things that are not like cutesy Halloween stuff. Because I know me being a girl that likes horror stuff, it's hard to find like girl tees that fit, right?
Totally.
Like beauty products and stuff. So I may be getting like some kind of like subscription box or something to try and do videos here. So just for some kind of cool content.
I'm sure we can try to live stream stuff or do things like that, do other videos, do other fun formats and everything, while also doing a weekly news roundup. Like I said, my ideal format would be to alternate, maybe doing like interviews with people, movie reviews of stuff that's just come out.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Like I want to do hopefully
kind of similar to stuff that we watch already.
And then do a top 10s, like alternate between those being the main feature, if you will, of the episode, and then doing news, Netflix picks, all that stuff like that. Doing other segments, things like that. Hopefully next week I would like to review Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich, since that just came out, and I hear that it is beautifully cheap and offensive.
Oh.
I've heard great things about it, and that it's got some crazy inventive kills in it, which should be fun to watch. But besides that, you can find us on Instagram at Dead of Night Pod.
Wow.
Look at that. And same with YouTube, it's Dead of Night Pod. Same with Facebook, Dead of Night Podcast.
Wow, we have a Facebook.
We have a Facebook page. Wow. And you can follow us individually on Instagram at Jake Fatal. That's mine. And yours is?
Rotten Dolls Clothing.
There you go.
All one word.
Get updated on what we're both doing. I'm a much better follower. I don't post as much. Actually, I post way more than you do somehow.
Yeah. I post a lot of like story stuff, but
yeah, yours is creating crafts, and mine's all band stuff. And
Yeah.
Sometimes I just post pictures of VHS stuff. And
yeah, mine's all like clothing, like beauty.
Yeah.
A lot of mine is girl stuff, so.
Yeah, you can find us there.
But if you like DIY, you like to do that kind of stuff.
You can also follow me on Twitter at Jake Fatal, where I post all my wrestling stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't do Twitter, and I don't have a Facebook either. I have it, but like.
Don't use it.
Yeah, it just says we're married.
I won't tell you my Facebook because you can just follow my Instagram.
Yeah.
It's fine. But yeah, at Dead of Night Pod everywhere. At Jake Fatal, at Ronald's Clothing. Thank you very much for watching this first episode and getting to know us a little better. Leave in the comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, your favorite horror movie of all time.
Yeah.
And why it's your favorite horror movie of all time. Thanks.
All right, bye.